If you're in sales, you know the deal. You either live or die by your pipeline. When it's full, hey, you're on top of the world. But when it's empty, you're in trouble. So today, we are going to break down the definitive guide to keeping that pipeline overflowing. Jeb Blount's Fanatical Prospecting. So in the next few minutes, we're going to pull out the absolute core principles from this book. We'll get into the right mindset, pinpoint the things that are holding you back, and give you some real, actionable tactics that separate the top 1% from, well, everybody else. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to diagnose the #1 problem in sales. Then we'll build the unstoppable mindset you need to solve it, shatter those mental blocks, and then arm you with a practical toolkit. And we'll wrap it all up with the one single habit that can literally change your entire career. Okay, let's start at square one. Before we even talk about solutions, we have to get brutally honest about the one challenge that causes almost every single failure in sales. Just think about it for a second. What do you think it is? A bad product? A tough economy? Maybe a lack of training? Well, according to Blount, the answer is way, way simpler than all that. That's it. Seriously, it's not complicated. An empty pipeline is the root of all evil in sales. It is the first domino that, when it falls, leads to slumps, desperation, and ultimately failure. Everything else is just a symptom of this one core problem. And here's exactly why an empty pipeline is so toxic. It kicks off what Blount calls the universal law of need. The moment you get desperate for a deal, prospects can smell it a mile away. You start making bad decisions, you give away too much, and you end up chasing deals you should have walked away from. It's a nasty, vicious cycle that all starts with not having enough prospects. So if the problem is the empty pipeline, the solution doesn't start with the phone or your keyboard. Nope, it starts right up here, in your head. It is all about your mindset. All right, so the book lays out these 7 core mindsets of the absolute top performers. And you know what's really powerful about this list? Every single one of these traits is 100% within your control. This isn't about natural talent, it's about the attitude and the discipline you choose to have. Let's just zoom in on 3 of these that make a huge difference. Being relentless means a no doesn't stop you. It's just fuel for the next call. Being confident means you walk into every single conversation expecting to succeed. And being optimistic, that means you truly believe the very next person you talk to could be the one that changes everything. Okay, so you've got the mindset down, but let's be real, we all have those days when it's still tough to just get started, right? So let's talk about the 3 mental enemies that are out to destroy your productivity. Meet the 3 Ps: procrastination, perfectionism, and paralysis. Procrastination, that's just fear of rejection in disguise. Perfectionism, that's when you spend 2 hours researching for a 10-second phone call. And paralysis is when you overthink every little thing so much that you end up doing nothing at all. Sound familiar? Man, the book drops this quote that just hits so hard. Procrastination is the grave in which opportunity is buried. Every single time you delay, you are literally burying a chance. You gotta remember this. Messy action is always, always better than perfect inaction. So how do we actually fight back against those mental blocks? Well, we do it with a toolkit. We've worked on the mindset. Now let's get tactical with some frameworks you can start using on your very next call. Okay, this one is a total game changer. When you get that classic brush off, don't argue, use this 3-step turnaround. First, anchor yourself so you stay calm. Second, disrupt their automatic no with something they don't expect. And third, you just ask again with confidence. Here's a perfect example. They hit you with, "I'm busy." Instead of backing down, you agree and disrupt. "That's exactly why I called." Boom, you've instantly flipped the script from a rejection to, "Hey, let's solve this scheduling thing together." Then you go right back to the ask. It's so simple, but it works. And you know, the same logic works for email. Your message needs 4 key things to even have a chance. A hook to get them to open it, a way to relate to their world, a bridge that connects their problem to your solution, and a crystal clear ask. Miss any one of these, and you're just more noise in their inbox. And that brings us to our final, and honestly, our most important section. This is the big idea that ties the entire fanatical prospecting philosophy together into one single career-changing habit. It all comes down to these 11 simple words. When it is time to go home, make one more call. This is the mantra.
Now, this isn't about burnout or working yourself to the bone. It's about pushing yourself just a tiny bit further than your brain wants you to go.
Because the real magic is in the compounding effect. That one extra call a day might not seem like much, but it adds up to over 250 extra calls a year. That's hundreds of new opportunities that your competition missed because, hey, they packed up and went home. It's all about building the discipline to do what other people won't.
So here's the ultimate takeaway. Success isn't about one heroic effort. It's built on these small, consistent disciplines that others just aren't willing to do. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What could that one extra conversation, that one more attempt, truly change for you?